तदहं ते विधास्यामि
तदहं तेऽभिदास्यामि
महापौरुषिको भवान्
महापौरुषिको भवान्
यस्य श्रद्धधातामासु
यस्य श्रद्धा दातामासु
श्याम मुकुन्दे मतिः सति
शान्मुकुन्दे मतिः सति
तदहं ते विधास्यामि
तदहं ते विधास्यामि
महापौरुषिको भवान्
महापौरुषिको भवान्
यस्य श्रद्धधातामासु
यस्य श्रद्धावात्मासु
श्यान्मुकुन्दे मतिः सति
शान्मुकुन्दे मतिः सति.
Yes, whoever all wants, they can recite this verse.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
I'll read it. Yeah, please go ahead, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Tadaham te bidashyami महापौरुषिको भवान् यस्य श्रद्धा दातामासु श्यान्मुकुन्दे मतिः सति. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. One more. One more. Yeah, Nalini Mataji, would you like to read?
Maybe she's on mute.
I think
She
yes.
was trying.
Yeah, I think she's off anyway. I think she's not. Yeah, go ahead, Navina Radha
Okay.
Mataji. Would you like to read?
Okay, Prabhuji, I'll try. Tad aham te vidyashyami mahapurushiko bhavan yasya shraddha dhatam masu shyan mukunde matihi sati. Thank you.
Yes. Anyone else?
I can try.
Yes, Madhuradesh Prabhu.
Tadaham te vidyashyami महापौरुषिको भवान् यस्य श्रद्धा तामाशु श्यानमुकुन्दे मति सति.
Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone would like to try? Neelma Mataji, would you like to read the translation and purport, Mataji? Probably you can read half the purport or something.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, go ahead and read the translation and purport.
Translation. That very Srimad Bhagavatam I shall recite before you because you are the most sincere devotee of Lord Krishna. One who gives full attention and respect to hearing Srimad Bhagavatam achieves unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord, the giver of salvation. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam is recognized Vedic wisdom, and the system of receiving Vedic knowledge is called Avaroha Pantha, or the process of receiving transcendental knowledge through bona fide disciplic succession. For advancement of material knowledge, there is a need for personal ability and researching aptitude, but in the case of spiritual knowledge, all progress depends more or less on the mercy of the spiritual master. The spiritual master must be satisfied with the disciple. Only then is knowledge automatically manifest before the student of spiritual science. The process should not, however, be misunderstood to be something like magical feats, whereby the spiritual master acts like a magician and injects spiritual knowledge into his disciple, as if surcharging him with an electric current. The bona fide spiritual master reasonably explains everything to the disciple on the authorities of Vedic wisdom. The disciple can receive such teachings not exactly intellectually, but by submissive inquiries and a service attitude. The idea is that both the spiritual master and the disciple must be bona fide. In this case, the spiritual master, Sukadeva Goswami, is ready to recite exactly what he has learned from his great father, Srila Vyasadeva. And the disciple, Maharaja Parikshit, is a great devotee of Lord Krishna. A devotee of Lord Krishna is he who believes sincerely that by becoming a devotee of the Lord, one becomes fully equipped with everything spiritual. This teaching is imparted by the Lord Himself in the pages of the Bhagavad Gita, in which it is clearly described that the Lord Sri Krishna is everything, and that to surrender unto Him solely and wholly makes one the most perfectly pious man. This unflinching faith in Lord Krishna prepares one to become a student of Srimad Bhagavatam, and one who hears Srimad Bhagavatam from a devotee like Sukadeva Goswami is sure to attain salvation at the end, as Maharaja Parikshit did. The professional reciter of Srimad Bhagavatam and the pseudo devotees whose faith is based on 1 week's hearing are different from Sukadeva Goswami and Maharaja Parikshit. Srila Vyasadeva explained Srimad Bhagavatam unto Sukadeva Goswami from the very beginning of the Janmadi Asya Versa. And so Sukadeva Goswami also explained it to the king. Lord Krishna is described as the Mahapurusha in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, in his devotional feature as Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord Krishna himself in his devotional attitude, descended to the earth to bestow special favors upon the fallen souls of this age of Kali. There are 2 verses particularly suitable to offer as prayers to this Mahapurusha feature of Lord Krishna. Dhyeyam sada paribhavagnam abhistadoham तीर्थस्पदं शिव विरिञ्चि नुतं शरण्यं भृत्यार्तिहं प्रणतपाला भवाद्भिपोतं वन्दे महापुरुषते चरणारविन्दं त्यक्त्वा सुदस्त्यजा सुरेप्सित राज्यलक्ष्मीं धर्मिष्ठा आर्यवचसा यद् अगाध अरण्यं मायामृगं दयितयेप्सितम् अन्वदावद् वन्दे महापुरुषते चरणारविन्दम्.
Yes, you can continue, Mataji. That's fine. Finish this paragraph, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. In other words, Purusha means the enjoyer and Mahapurusha means the supreme enjoyer or the supreme personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. One who deserves to approach the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is called the Mahapaurushika. Anyone who hears Srimad Bhagavatam attentively from its bona fide reciter is sure to become a sincere devotee of the Lord, who is able to award liberation. There was none so attentive as Maharaja Parikshit in the matter of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, and there was none so qualified as Sukadeva Goswami to recite the text of Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, anyone who follows in the footsteps of either the ideal reciter or the ideal hearer, Sukadeva Goswami and Maharaja Parikshit respectively, will undoubtedly attain salvation like them. Maharaja Parikshit attained salvation by hearing only, and Sukadeva Goswami attained salvation only by reciting. Recitation and hearing are two processes out of 9 devotional activities, and by strenuously following the principles either in all or by parts, one can attain the absolute plane. So the complete text of Srimad Bhagavatam, beginning with the Janmadhyasya verse up to the last one in the 12th canto, was spoken by Sukadeva Goswami for the attainment of salvation by Maharaja Parikshit. In the Padma Purana, it is mentioned that Gautama Muni advised Maharaja Ambarisha to hear regularly Srimad Bhagavatam as it was recited by Sukadeva Goswami. And herein it is confirmed that Maharaja Ambarisha heard Srimad Bhagavatam from the very beginning to the end as it was spoken by Sukadeva Goswami. One who is actually interested in the Bhagavatam, therefore, must not play with it by reading or hearing a portion from here and a portion from there. One must follow in the footsteps of great kings like Maharaja Ambarisha or Maharaja Parikshit and hear it from a bona fide representative of Sukadeva Goswami. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So here is what you call giving the importance of Bhagavatam. The very the first classes we discussed this about it. What is so important about Bhagavatam? So if you all remember it, I spoke about Bhagavata Mahatya. I think the very beginning of it. So in brief, Bhagavata Mahatmya is basically glorification of Bhagavatam. What Bhagavatam can do if we seriously listen, if we seriously recite, what it can do. So in other words, what it cannot do, it can do anything and everything. That is its glory. It can do anything and everything. You ask for anything, 100% it will give you. Whether it is material desires, whether it is spiritual desires, it is jnana, whatever you are asking, it will give you. There is a beautiful verse in Bhagavatam where it says, Akamava sarvakama, what is that? Akama sarvakama moksha kama udharati. Tivrena bhakti yogena ejeta purusham param. So it says that whether we have a desire, whether we don't have a desire, whether we have a desire for liberation, whether we have a desire for spiritual world, whether we have for material, whatever it is, akama sarvakama, all kinds of desires, anything will be cured. Especially here, there are few verses that are, these two verses comes in the 11th canto. Here it is given, 11th canto, 5th chapter, 33 and 34th verse. This was spoken by Karabhajan Muni. So Karabhajan Muni, one of the Navayogendras, who are pure devotees of Krishna. Their job is always in meditation to think about Krishna. There is nothing else. Karabhajana, Pipalayana, there are 9 Navayogendras. There are 9 of them. These are the sons of Rishabhadev. Rishabhadev has 100 sons. Out of 100 sons, the first one is Bharata. We all know Bharata. Bharata is the great king. Bharata. Out of 1 he become, 9 become like this. Those are 10. So the remaining are all become like, brahmacharis or some, practicing austerities or something like that. I think there is a list of all these remaining 89 where they went. They went to, I remember now. They went to Lord Suryadev and they mount on the Suryadev's chariot and they recite these Vedas so that Lord Surya won't get sleep. So he will do his job. His job is basically what? Move the chariot from one end to the other end so that the time passes. So while doing that, he shouldn't sleep. So what are these do? They recite these verses, very nicely kind of. So they are all doing, especially these Navayogendras are very, very special. So they recited these verses. Especially this is, if anyone recognizes, this is the meter of Brahma Samhita. Exactly the meter of Brahma Samhita. Chintamani prakara sadmashu kalpa vruksha. Same it is. Deyam sada paribhava, sorry. Deyam sada paribhavagnam abhishtadoham. Tirthaspadam Shiva Virinchinutam Saranyam. Bhrutyarteham pranatapala bhavabdipotam. Vande Mahapurushate Charanaravindaam. See how beautifully recited this verse, the Navayogendras. They are praising. We are reciting the same Brahma Samhita, right? Brahma recited. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Vande Mahapurusham Te Charanaravindaam. See this? Same Mahapurusha. Govindam Adi Purusha. See, this word is repeatedly coming it, saying that the Lord is Mahapurusha. Mahapurusha. We say that I am Purusha. See, the designation that we consider Purusha or women, those are not correct actually. There is only one Purusha, that is the Lord. The remaining all are Prakriti. There is no Purusha. There is only one Purusha, that is Krishna. That means there is only one enjoyer. One enjoyer. We are all to be enjoyed. To be enjoyed. Not enjoyers. We are not enjoyers. We are enjoying. We are enjoyed, or we are enjoyed by someone. So we can think of this way. Like for example, we see flowers, right? Flowers, they themselves don't get any enjoyment. But the same flower, when it reaches to the footsteps of Krishna, the Lord, or any God, then it feels, yes, my life is successful. That is the enjoyment that comes. That means by offering herself to the Lord, it gets the enjoyment. That is how we should feel it. That means we should give our life to Krishna, then we get the enjoyment. Because I was in service of Krishna. So my purpose of living has a meaning in it. Now we should ask all of us, are we doing that way? Are we living that way? So especially here, he is talking about Srimad Bhagavatam must be heard from a bona fide. What is it, bona fide? Bona fide means we must have a connection all the way to Krishna. Why it is saying that avaroha panta? Avaroha means it is coming from the top. Avaroha, that means coming from the top. Aroha means going from the bottom. In our school, we use this system. In the material world, we use Aroha Panta. Aroha Panta means we start from the lowest, kindergarten, elementary, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this, and we go up. This is Aroha Panta, little by little from the bottom. But this is Avaroha Panta. This is coming from the Lord. This is coming from the Lord. Lord to Brahma, Brahma to Narada, Narada to Vyasa, Vyasa to Madhva, Madhva to, and the disciplic succession continuously comes, and Jagannath Das Babaji. And then, who is after Jagannath Das Babaji? Anyone know? Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Gaura Kishore Babaji, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, and our Srila Prabhupada. So that means, if we hold the hand, the feet of Prabhupada, then we are holding the hand and feet of Lord Krishna. Because this is all bona fide sampradaya. Everything is connected very nicely, systematically. So we have to be in this line. to get the benefit of this, being in the disciplic succession. This is how we are supposed to hear Bhagavatam. Very, very important. There's a beautiful verse in Padma Purana where it says, Avaishnava Mukha Ghirnam Putam Harikatamritam. So it's saying that hearing the purest, the activities, Harikatamritam. Harikata, Amrita is like a nectar of Harikata Amrita. So what it is doing it is coming from the Avaishnava. That means who is not a Vaishnava, who is not in a Sampradaya. Nivartate Naiva Kartavyam. Or sorry, what is that? Shravanam, sorry. Shravanam Naiva Kartavyam. Shravanam Naiva. That means we shouldn't listen. We shouldn't listen from a Vaishnava. That means who is not a Vaishnava, who is not from the bona fide Sampradaya, we shouldn't. Shravanam Naiva. We shouldn't. Why? Sarpochista Yatapaya. This is just like a milk touched by a snake. A milk just touched by a snake. Milk looks very white and the quantity of milk is too big. We can't even find the poison in that milk at all. Right? Poison, it looks like a black color. Black color. One small drop of poison from the fangs of a snake mixing in a big pot of milk. We can't even trace that poison at all. But if we take it, we may lose even our life. Sarpochista yatapaya. That means listening this Bhagavatam from the lips of a Vaishnava is having that effect. So this must be heard from the people or whoever is from the Sampradaya. How do we know that a particular guru is from the Sampradaya? So we have to inquire. We have to inquire who is it? Who is it? Here in this verse it is telling that Sukadeva Goswami is such a bona fide. How did Sukadeva Goswami is bona fide? Sukadeva Goswami is connected to Vyasadeva, who is the author of Bhagavatam. And he heard from Vyasadeva. So he is bona fide. He is connected. And also, he is a great authority that everyone accepted. So, he is a Vaishnava, qualified. And on the other hand, what is the qualification? That is why Mundaka Upanishad it is saying that Tat Vijnanardham Sagurum Eva Bhigachet. To get the knowledge, we need to seek a guru. To get the knowledge, not the mundane knowledge, the knowledge that help us to break the chains of birth and death. That is the knowledge we need it. Tat Vijnanardham Sagurum Eva Bhigachet. Samitpani Shrotriyam Brahmanishta. The second line is indicating the qualifications of bona fide. Who is the bona fide? Brahmanishta. He follows very strict rules. He doesn't indulge any kinds of sense gratification at all. Brahmanishta sincerely follows. And Shrotriyam. And also he is well versed with all these things. He comes in the disciplic succession. He heard everything from the gurus, followed, lived his life by those teachings. So he must be connected and he should be serious. He shouldn't indulge sense gratification. That is exactly what we see in today's world, isn't it? Every single Babajis, Bhagavans we come across in our lives, at least I have seen half a dozen great personalities. People claimed Even in fact, our prime ministers are visited. Such a bogus gurus. Why they are bogus? They may did some magics here and there. But why they are called bogus? Because they are not sincere. They are indulging sense gratification. They are enjoying these external things. They should never enjoy. The simple rule, a serious guru never enjoys anything other than that is connected to Krishna. For example, a guru wants to dance. He is not going to dance in a marriage hall, some marriage party, or a special occasion, some felicitation somewhere is great going on. He is not going to dance there. He is going to dance in a procession where the Lord is taken for a ride, for example, Jagannath Ratha Yatra, or for example, some festival where the Lord is being taken outside for a parade. That is the place where he dances. He wants to sing. That is the place. He can sing to give pleasure to the devotees in a temple, some satsanga. He can do that. That means he can enjoy, but in the company of devotees, with the company of Lord, but not other way. But what are we seeing outside world? This is exactly what we are seeing outside world. Why they all get caught up on the videos, this video, that video, this bogus, that bogus? That means they themselves cannot control. See, we call our Maharajas as Goswami. Goswami. What is Goswami means? What is Goswami? Anyone know? We say Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Lokanath Goswami. What is Goswami? Anyone know?
Yes, Prabhuji. Who has a control on the senses?
Correct.
Go means
Who controls the senses? Swami means controller.
control.
Go means senses. The controller of the senses called Goswami. What is the opposite of Goswami?
Go.
What is the opposite of Goswami?
Who is controlled by the senses?
Correct.
But I forgot the name.
Yes. So same.
Godasa, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Godas.
Exactly. Godasa. So one controls the senses, one senses are controlling. One controlling the senses, one sense is controlling. See, that is Goswami versus Godasa. So are we seeing Goswamis or Godasas outside? We are seeing Godasas. It is as good as we. We are the same. We are Godasas, isn't it? We are controlled by our senses pretty much. That is the reason we are getting up and down, up and down, up and down. But look at the sincerity of our listener, Parikshit Maharaj. For 7 days, Parikshit Maharaj didn't get up, didn't eat, didn't do anything. He didn't even drink. Can we do it? We may say that we may die, we may this, we may that. No. Not eating 7 days, a person need not to die. There are many people proved that a person can live more than 30 days easily without food. Even without water, a person can live more than 2 weeks. We have seen, we have records, we have many people. Normal, ordinary people themselves did it actually. I was asking myself yesterday, we attended a small Lokanath Goswami's Maharaj's appearance day yesterday, and we attended at Divyanam Prabhuji's place. Okay, I just sat there for an hour when Prabhuji is giving a class. I couldn't properly sit in Padmasana without moving here and there for 1 hour. The last 5 minutes, I get up to move my legs here and there. I was asked myself, Just for sitting an hour sincerely in a Padmasana, see how feeble my body became. So, physically unfit, mentally unfit. But here, look at Parikshit Maharaj. 7 days, he didn't even move from that place. That is the sincerity. He don't mind to even die. Say, for example, by hunger he dies. Assume that by hunger, after 2 days he dies. What will happen? Nothing, right? Anyway, he dies after 7 days. But dying 2 days early doesn't make any difference for him. So, death is never the question for Parikshit Maharaj. This fact, whoever knows this fact, they can make progress. Because we are so much worried about an unknown, isn't it? We are so much afraid of what is tomorrow. That is always making us fearful. But if we don't care, just think of for a second that I never die, I live forever. If think this way, I never die, see how much progress we can make it actually. See how our decisions will change if we come to that conclusion that I never die. If we sincerely feel that I never die, then we don't make all these stupid decisions at all. We don't. But we keep on forgetting that important factor. We constantly trying to enjoy ourselves naively, saying that even I'm talking about myself here, even though I worship Krishna, I say in the name of Krishna, but still I am enjoying it, is it not? There is no simplicity in my worship. There is no simplicity in my living. Everything is lavish. Everything is elaborated. There is no sincerity. Here, Parikshit Maharaj stood an example to be a great listener. And at the end, he was awarded so that he can associate with Krishna. This is guaranteed. We need not to be, oh, this is a story or something. No, this is a fact. This is a fact. In fact, we can test this fact. We can test this fact. I myself tested this one many times. You know how I tested it myself? When I constantly engage myself throughout the day, whether reading, chanting, doing some service in the temple, somewhere, the way my mood, the way my energy levels, my behavior, my confidence levels are on a different level. But if I spend most of the time, in a work related activities, family related activities, browsing internet, looking for some nonsense or something, shopping this and that and something, majority of the day, now my mindset is not there. Always thinking, always anxiety, always something. We can see the difference actually. That means the activities related to Krishna gives energy, positive energy. It makes us 100% positive. Especially in material world, I like this one line. I think I read it somewhere, this line. This line says, what is it? Uh, uh, Miracles do happen, but you have to believe it to happen. Miracles do happen, you have to believe it to happen. Even though it says on a material platform, but I like this line actually. Miracles do happen, but you have to believe to happen to make it happen. How beautiful it is. So it must. That means we have to have faith in Krishna, that Krishna will do anything and everything for us. That is what it is Parikshit Maharaj's story is telling us. What is the idea of knowing Arjun's story, Parikshit Maharaj's story? These stories of the victorious people. By knowing the victorious people, we can lead our lives like that. And especially here, these two verses we just read, what is it saying, these two verses? These two verses are the prayers. Prayers, what it is saying that? Purusha, enjoyer, Mahapurusha, supreme enjoyer. So crystal clearly telling that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. Without Krishna enjoying it, we enjoying means it is not at all correct. Not at all correct. I don't know. I think some of you may already know this small story. One time, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, when he is a small boy, I think 5-year-old boy, 7-year-old boy, at home, his father brought Vinod Thakur. His father bought what? Mangoes, full ripened mangoes, and the mangoes, they are smelling so good. Even the smell comes out of the mango such that it is attracting him. What happened? As a small child, he went and ate one of the mango. And his father came and told him that these were not offered to Krishna yet, but you ate it. It is not good. That's all he said. Guess what? Can anyone guess what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur did after that? Any idea? Anyone know what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur did afterwards?
Just guessing, Prabhuji, he left the mango forever.
Yes, that is correct. Mataji is absolutely correct. For a lifetime, he never tasted mango at all. And the fruit that he likes the most, mango is the fruit he likes the most. Because of one small mistake as a child, he gave up the most lovable fruit for him for the rest of the life. That is seriousness. That is seriousness. Can we do that? We eat things, even sometimes we convince that, oh, this is we bought from the shop, and how can we formally offer him? Okay, let's pray it in the mind itself and let me eat it. Right? Isn't it? We do. We bought things from the shop, this and that, and so many small things, what you call, especially some spicy things, munching for munching purpose in the afternoon, munching this, munching that, munching, whatever it is. These are all the things that normally it's not that we offer regularly or something. We just pray, okay, Lord, please accept this, and then we eat it. That is not at all right. So this is crystal clearly telling that what we are supposed to do. So the most important thing is our life should be, it's like, dovetailed after Krishna's interest. That means whatever Krishna likes, we like it. Whatever Krishna don't like it, we don't like it too. That is our attitude. Our attitude must be, whatever Krishna likes, we like it. Whatever Krishna don't like it, we don't like it. So we should know what are likes and dislikes of Krishna. So how do we know? How do we know? How do we know likes and dislikes of Krishna? Anyone have any comment? How do we know likes and dislikes of Krishna?
And anything we offer with the love.
No.
liked by Krishna.
How do we know that what Krishna likes and dislikes?
From the pastimes of Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, from the pastimes of Krishna. That is the only way? But we were not there. How do we know that what he likes in the pastime?
From previous
Shastra.
acharyas.
Shastra.
From bona fide masters.
Yes. So you're all correct. You're all correct. From bona fide masters, from Shastras, from pastimes. All these things revealing what Krishna likes, what he don't like. That is why we should study the Shastra. We should hear these things. Why? Because to know the interest and disinterest, likes and dislikes of Krishna. This is very simple, right? Our children, we observe from the beginning, from the childhood. We feed them, they like it, they don't like it, we know, right? You're all familiar with your children, right? Not all people like carrot when they are child. I don't like carrot when I was child. So we have likes and dislikes. Especially my mom has a lot of trouble raising me when I was a young boy because I am very picky eater, very, very picky eater. She has very much trouble what to do it every single day. I'm the only one in the house. I have very peculiar taste. I only eat certain things only. If that thing is not available, for that day I fast, period. I didn't say anything. I fast. This makes my mom more worried. Because I'm so stubborn, I don't eat other things. I fast. So this is why it's a very important. Same thing, same story, we should know. Because someday we assume that, oh, this is Krishna likes. No, Krishna won't eat. That means Krishna is in fast. Krishna doing fasting. So we should be careful. Careful. That is why we should listen. What Krishna said, Patram Pushpam Toyam. Right? Sorry, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. So anything that related to these things, will Krishna eats. Annad Bhavanti Bhutani. Annad. He also included Anna. So grains, leaves, vegetables, fruits, water. These are the things Krishna has given. Milk, curd, yogurt, all these preparations related to milk and ghee and all these things. So Krishna has already given the list for us. It is up to us. It is up to us. The way Krishna loves, decorates himself. He already given what he's like, what colors he likes, what colors he don't wear it. We do know, right? Certain colors he wears, certain colors he don't wear, or certain styles he wears. So we all know. So we should know his interests. So this is how we know we follow. So if we pay attention to the descriptions of Sukadev Goswami throughout the Bhagavatam, that is exactly what Sukadev Goswami is describing. He is describing the likes of Krishna, dislikes of Krishna. So if we listen to them, we follow them. That's all we have to do. Satatam kirtayanto mam. Yatantascha dridhavrata namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate. Krishna is clearly telling it, right? I think this is the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, 14th verse. Satatam, all the time. Kirtayanto mam. Glorify me. Glorify me. How difficult it is to glorify Krishna. One simple verse, right? One simple verse. Any verse is fine. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. That verse is more than enough, isn't it? Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. This is more than enough. So any single verse, you pick it up, that's more than enough. So as discussed in the last class, before you get up from the bed early morning, you just recite one verse, whatever you remember that day, one verse before you get up from the bed. And before you go to the bed, recite one verse. The last activity before you go to bed is reciting one verse. The first activity, getting up from the bed, is one verse. See the difference that day, what makes so much difference, so much difference. This is exactly what he wants to convey in this purport. And the next one is basically is giving an instruction, what it is supposed to be done, how we are supposed to be done. The next verse is very famous verse and it is a memorized verse. So if anyone wants to memorize that verse, you can memorize that verse too. So I will stop it here and let us spend few minutes. Any comments and questions from anyone? You can open up your mics and speak few words. At least everyone must have at least one or two questions or a comment pass.